There's a man sitting in the shadows tonight. He's been overlooked, ignored, and forgotten. His heart carries scars of rejection, and his mind whispers the lies of being unworthy. But I'm here to tell you something. The story of the unloved man doesn't end in defeat. It begins there. Because the unloved man is not broken. He is being prepared. He is being sharpened. And the moment he understands his worth, the world will see him as unstoppable. Why should you stay till the end? Because in this message lies the key to turning loneliness into power, rejection into redirection, and pain into purpose. By the time we finish, you'll walk away with a fire in your soul, ready to rewrite the narrative of your life. This is not just a speech. It's a call to arms for every man who has ever felt unloved. Let me tell you something, my friend. Being unloved doesn't define you. It refines you. The pain of not being chosen, the ache of not being wanted, these are the weights that build your strength. When you learn to carry them, they no longer feel like burdens. They feel like tools. The unloved man often hides in silence, burying his struggles deep. But the first step to breaking free is to own it. Stand tall and say, "This is my story, and it will not end in misery." You see, rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of what wasn't meant for you. You can't expect anyone else to love you until you start loving yourself. Look in the mirror and speak life into your soul. Stop chasing validation from others and start building it from within. The greatest love you'll ever find is self-respect, and the moment you embrace it, the world will begin to notice. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. The unloved man has a choice. Let the pain break him or let it build him. Channel that energy into your purpose, into your goals, into your growth. Pain is the birthplace of greatness. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. Solitude is the furnace where warriors are forged. It's in those quiet moments that you discover who you truly are, what you stand for, and where you're headed. Use this time to sharpen your mind, strengthen your body, and love is not about begging for attention or compromising your values. The unloved man learns that love starts with standards. If you chase love, you'll find heartbreak. But when you build yourself into a man of value, love will find you. To the man who feels unloved, I say this: your story isn't over. Your pain has a purpose. Your struggles are shaping you into someone the world cannot ignore. The unloved man is not a victim. He is a phoenix, rising from the ashes of rejection to become something greater. So, what are you waiting for? Stand up, dust yourself off, and show the world what the unloved man can become. Because when a man discovers his worth, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, that can stop him. Stay strong, stay hungry, and stay ready. Your time is coming. Self-worth is not just a buzzword. It's the foundation upon which everything else in life is built. It's the invisible force that determines how you walk into a room, how you handle rejection, and how you approach opportunities. For the unloved man, self-worth often feels like a distant concept, something reserved for others who seem to have everything together. But here's the truth. No one can give you your worth, and no one can take it away. It's not something granted by another person's approval or diminished by their neglect. It's already inside you, waiting to be acknowledged and embraced. Many people make the mistake equating their worth with their circumstances. They think they've been overlooked or rejected. They must lack something important. They replay every rejection, every harsh word, and every moment of being dismissed, allowing those experiences to define them. But worth is not determined by external factors. Your worth is intrinsic. It's like a diamond buried deep in the earth, covered in dirt, unseen by the world, yet still precious and valuable. The challenge lies in realizing that your worth doesn't depend on being loved or accepted by others. It starts with how you see yourself. The world has conditioned us to seek validation from outside through relationships, careers, and achievements. We chase applause, approval, and affection, thinking they'll fill the void inside. But the truth is, you could have the love of everyone in the world, and it still wouldn't matter if you don't love yourself. The unloved man often struggles in silence, feeling like he has to prove something to the world. He tries to earn love through actions, words, or sacrifices. But self-worth isn't about earning anything. It's about recognizing what's already there. It's about standing firm in the belief that you are enough, even when the world says otherwise. That belief doesn't come overnight. It comes from a conscious decision to stop looking outward and start looking inward. When you begin to value yourself, something incredible happens. You stop tolerating things that diminish you. You stop chasing people who don't see your worth. You stop giving energy to situations that drain you. Self-worth gives you the power to walk away from what doesn't serve you and to demand better for yourself. It's not arrogance. It's knowing that you deserve the same love and respect you so freely give to others. The world often mistakes self-worth for selfishness. But they couldn't be more different. Selfishness takes from others to build oneself up. Self-worth oneself up so you can give more authentically to others. It's the quiet confidence comes from knowing you don't need to compete or compare. You are valuable simply because you are. You are. Reclaiming your self-worth is the greatest act of love you can give yourself. It changes how you speak, how you think, and how you show up in the world. And when you hold on to your self-worth, you don't just survive, you thrive. Rejection is one of the most painful experiences a person can endure, yet it is also one of the most universal. Everyone at some point faces the sting of being turned away, overlooked, or dismissed. But for the unloved man, rejection can feel like a recurring theme, a shadow that follows him in every interaction, every relationship, and every opportunity. It whispers lies in his ear, telling him he's not good enough, not worthy, and not capable of being wanted. However, what the unloved man often doesn't realize is that rejection, while painful, is not a verdict on his value. Instead, it's a tool that, when handled correctly, can set him free. Rejection is not the enemy. Fear of rejection is. The fear of not being accepted paralyzes so many, keeping them from stepping into their potential. It convinces them to settle for less, to hide their true selves, and to avoid risks that could lead to growth. But rejection itself has a hidden power. It strips away illusions, forcing us to confront who we are and what we truly want. It's not a pleasant process, but it's necessary. Because when you face rejection and come out on the other side, you realize something profound. Rejection does not define you. It's merely a redirection. The chains of rejection are not forged by others. They're created in your mind. Each no you've heard, each door that's been shut is just a moment in time. Yet many let these moments grow into a lifetime of self-doubt. They carry the weight of rejection long after the incident has passed, allowing it to dictate their choices and dim their light. Breaking free begins with a shift in perspective. Rejection is not a personal attack. It's often a reflection of misalignment. It means the situation, person, or opportunity wasn't meant for you, not because you're unworthy, but because there's something better ahead. The unloved man must learn to see rejection as a teacher. It teaches resilience, patience, and the ability to find strength in adversity. It pushes you to refine your character and clarify your purpose. Most importantly, it teaches you that your value is not determined by someone else's opinion or decision. The greatest men in history, the ones who left lasting legacies, all faced rejection. What set them apart was their refusal to let it chain them. They used rejection as fuel, as motivation to rise above and prove, not to others, but to themselves, that they were unstoppable. When you stop fearing rejection, you take back your power. You no longer seek validation from others or let their opinions shape your self-impose. Instead, you stand firm in who you are, knowing that rejection is not the end, it's often the beginning. It's the fire that forges strength, the storm that clears the path, and the lesson that leads to wisdom. Breaking free from the chains of rejection isn't easy, but once you do, you'll find a freedom and confidence that no one can take away. True love is one of the most misunderstood concepts in the world. Many people chase after it without understanding what it truly means or what it requires. For the unloved man, this misunderstanding often creates an endless cycle of disappointment and pain. He seeks love as a cure for his loneliness, as a balm for his wounds, or as validation for his existence. But here's the hard truth. Love isn't something you find. It's something you understand, cultivate, and embody. True love doesn't begin with someone else. It starts with clarity about what love is and, more importantly, what it isn't. Love is not about possession or control. It's not about someone else completing you or making you whole. True love is about mutual respect, understanding, and growth. It's about two people who come together not because they need each other, but because they choose to build something meaningful together. For the unloved man, this can be a hard pill to swallow. When you've been starved of affection, it's easy to cling to the idea that someone else's love will fix everything. But that's not how love works. If you enter a relationship expecting someone else to fill your voids, you're not seeking love. You're seeking dependency. True love also requires patience. In a world that glorifies instant gratification, the process of building a genuine connection can feel excruciatingly slow. But real love is not rush. It's a slow dance, not a sprint. It requires time, effort, and vulnerability. And vulnerability is often the hardest part. To open yourself up after years of feeling unloved takes courage. It means risking rejection, facing your fears, and allowing someone to see the parts of you that you've tried to hide. But it's in that vulnerability where true love takes root. It's not about presenting a perfect version of yourself, but about being authentic and honest. Another essential aspect of true love is understanding that it's not about perfection. No one is flawless and no relationship is without its challenges. True love doesn't mean the absence of conflict. It means navigating those conflicts with respect and care. It's about compromise, not sacrifice. It's about giving without losing yourself in the process. For the unloved man, this can feel foreign. When you've experienced rejection, there's a tendency to overcompensate, to give too much, to bend too far, to put others' needs above your own. But love that requires you to lose yourself is not love. It's imbalance. Understanding true love also means recognizing when it's not present. Not everyone who smiles at you has your best interests at heart. Not every relationship is worth pursuing. The unloved man must learn to discern between genuine connection and empty promises. This requires self-awareness and the ability to walk away from situations that don't honor your worth. True love doesn't diminish you. It elevates you. It inspires you to become the best version of yourself while accepting you as you are. True love is not something you chase. It's something you attract when you fully understand it. It's not an escape from loneliness, but a celebration of connection. It begins when you stop looking for love outside and start building it within. Solitude is often misunderstood as loneliness, but the two couldn't be more different. Loneliness is a state of lacking connection, a feeling of being cut off from the world. Solitude, on the other hand, is a deliberate choice. A space where growth begins, where clarity emerges, and where you can hear your own thoughts without the noise of others. For the unloved man, solitude can feel like a punishment, a reminder of what's missing. But in truth, it's an opportunity to transform. It's not the absence of connection, but the presence of self-discovery. When you embrace solitude, you give yourself permission to pause, to reflect, and to reset. Life moves fast, and it's easy to lose yourself in the chaos of seeking approval or chasing validation. Solitude allows you to step away from that chase. It's in these quiet moments that you begin to understand who you truly are, not who others want you to be, or who you think you should be to gain acceptance. You strip away the layers of societal expectations, uncovering the raw, authentic version of yourself. Solitude is where you confront your fears, your insecurities, and your doubts. It's not always comfortable. Sitting alone with your thoughts can feel overwhelming at first, especially if you've been running from them for years. But growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in those moments of discomfort when you're forced to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. And as you do, you start to heal. You realize that you don't need the validation of others to feel whole. You don't need someone else's love to define your worth. In solitude, you learn to cultivate self-reliance. You discover that you are stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you ever imagined. It's in this space that you build a foundation for your future relationships, not as someone seeking to be completed, but as someone already complete, ready to share your life with another. Solitude teaches you to fill your own cup first, to find joy and peace within yourself, so that when love does come, it's a bonus, not a necessity. Solitude also sharpens your vision. When you're constantly surrounded by others, their opinions, their expectations, and their energy can cloud your own. But when you're alone, you gain clarity. You can dream without limits, plan without interference, and make decisions that align with your true self. It's in these moments of solitude that your purpose becomes clear. You begin to see the path forward, not the one laid out by others, but the one meant for you. Choosing solitude is not about rejecting the world. It's about preparing yourself for it. It's about taking the time to grow, to strengthen, and to understand yourself so that when you step back into the world, you do so with confidence and purpose. Solitude is not the absence of love. It's the soil where self-love grows. And from that foundation, everything else in life begins to flourish. Pain is an inevitable part of life, but for the unloved man, it can feel like a constant companion. It creeps into every corner of existence, shaping how he sees the world and himself. Pain has a way of making you feel small, insignificant, and defeated. But here's the truth that often goes unnoticed. Pain, when embraced and understood, can be the greatest catalyst for growth. It's not the pain itself that defines you. It's what you do with it. Turning pain into purpose is one of the most powerful transformations a person can experience. Pain is a teacher, though its lessons are rarely gentle. It forces you to confront your vulnerabilities and insecurities, pushing you to examine the areas of your life that need change. It strips away illusions and brings you face to face with your raw, unfiltered reality. This process can feel unbearable at times, but it's in these moments of discomfort that the seeds of transformation are planted. Pain creates an opportunity, a fork in the road. You can either let it consume you or use it to fuel your journey forward. For the unloved man, pain often stems from rejection, neglect, or lack of belonging, but those very experiences can become the foundation for purpose. Pain has a unique ability to connect us with others, gives you empathy and understanding for those who are walking through their own struggles. When you turn your pain outward, using it to uplift, inspire, or guide someone else, you create meaning. You transform what once felt like a burden into a source of strength, not just for yourself, but for others as well. Turning pain into purpose requires a mindset shift. It's about seeing challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. Every setback, every heartbreak, and every failure carries within it a lesson. When you take the time to reflect on your pain, you begin to see patterns. You understand what went wrong, what you need to let go of, and what you need to build moving forward. This reflection is not about dwelling on the past, but about learning from it. Pain also ignites resilience. It pushes you to dig deeper, to fight harder, and to rise higher. When you've experienced the depths of pain, you develop a strength that can't be shaken. You realize that no matter how heavy the burden, you have the power to carry it and move forward. And it's in this forward motion that purpose begins to emerge. Your experiences, no matter how painful, become a roadmap, not just for your own healing, but for others who are struggling. Purpose is born when you decide that your pain will not be wasted. It's the moment you choose to rise above your circumstances and use them as a stepping stone towards something greater. Pain when transformed, becomes a force that drives you, empowers you, and reminds you of what truly matters. It's not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you take control and turn your struggles into strength. Inner strength is not something you're born with. It's something you develop over time, especially in the face of adversity. For the unloved man, life can feel like a constant test, a series of challenges that seem designed to break him. But within these trials lies the opportunity to cultivate an unshakable resilience, the kind of strength that doesn't depend on the validation or approval of others. Building inner strength is about forging a foundation within yourself so solid that no rejection, no hardship, and no loss can dismantle it. Inner strength begins with self-awareness. To truly grow, you must first understand who you are at your core. This means acknowledging your weaknesses without judgment and recognizing your strengths without arrogance. It requires looking in the mirror and seeing the truth, not just the image you project to the world. Self-awareness is not about criticizing yourself. It's about knowing yourself. When you understand what drives you, what holds you back, and what you truly want from life, you gain clarity. And clarity is the first step towards strength. Developing inner strength also means embracing discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your current self and the person you aspire to become. It's waking up every day with a sense of purpose, even when you don't feel like it. It's making choices that align with your values and long-term goals, even when they're difficult. Discipline is not just about doing the hard things. It's about doing the right things. It's about consistency, showing up for yourself day after day, no matter how you feel. Another critical aspect of inner strength is learning to manage your emotions. Life is full of highs and lows, and without emotional regulation, you can find yourself at the mercy of those extremes. Building inner strength means developing the ability to feel deeply without being consumed. It's about acknowledging your pain, your anger, and your fears, but not letting them dictate your actions. Emotional strength comes from understanding that feelings are temporary and you have the power to choose how you respond. Inner strength also requires you to let go of the things that no longer serve you, whether that's toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, or past mistakes. Carrying the weight of resentment, regret, or shame only drags you down. True strength comes from forgiveness, both of others and yourself. It's about releasing the burdens of the past so you can move forward unencumbered. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to your ability to prioritize your growth over your grievances. Finally, inner strength is about belief. Belief in your own ability to overcome, to succeed, and to thrive. It's about trusting yourself, even when the world doubts you. This belief doesn't happen overnight. It's built through small victories, through proving to yourself time and again that you are capable. Inner strength is not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. It's about standing tall, not because life is easy, but because you've built the foundation so strong within yourself that nothing can tear it down. In the end, the journey of the unloved man is not one of defeat, but of transformation. It's about turning pain into power, rejection into resilience, and loneliness into self-discovery. Life may not always grant you the love or validation you seek from others, but it offers something even greater: the opportunity to love yourself, to grow, and to rise above your circumstances. Jimmy, remember, being unloved by others does not make you unworthy. It's in the moments of solitude that you find your purpose, in the trials that you forge your strength, and in the darkest times that you uncover your light. Let the adversity shape you, not break you. Stand tall, not in the approval of others, but in the truth of who you are. This is your time to reclaim your life, to find meaning in the struggle, and to embrace the greatness that lies within you. You are more than the labels, the judgments, or the rejections. You are a man destined to rise, to inspire, and to live with the strength that no one can take away. The world may not see your worth right now, but when you walk in purpose, it will. Never forget Your story isn't over, it's just beginning.